Hello, this is Tammy with Autistic Wiki, and today I am doing, day 14 of the Walk in REDInstead April challenge, and day 14 is language. So I needed to spend a little time thinking about this because I didn't know really what to do for it. And then I thought, well, let's talk about the different ways that autistics use language compared to the typical population. One thing that I've noticed that's different about us, the way that we use language, is that with autistic people, we tend to say what we mean and mean what we say. For the most part, what you see is what you get. There's not a lot of double talk or hidden meanings or things like that. For the most part, if we mean to say something, we say it. By comparison, the way a lot of typical people will do it, they tend to not say what they mean. They tend to like even if you think about how greetings go, greeting it'll be, oh, hey, how are you today? And the proper response is, oh, I'm fine, how are you? It's not really a question. It's not really, you're not really supposed to go off on this long story about how you are at that moment. You're supposed to return the greeting and say the same thing back, more or less. Within reason, you can kind of every once in a while be like, oh man, I'm having a hard day. But like if you do it every time, because I tried this, I tested this out, people get really mad at you because they're just like, why are you so negative? Why can't you ever just say hi to somebody? Like, dude, I'm not the one not just saying hi. You're the one asking me how I am, so I answered. Now that I know it's not a question, I'll just say hi back. So that's one thing that's different is when we, like, if I'm going to say hi to somebody, normally I just say hi, hello, something like that. I've learned that for whatever reason in our society, and this seems to be an American thing, I'm sure other countries, cultures, have different ways, I'm sure, of interacting, but here in America, if you just say hi to people and not use more sentences, hey, how are you? Good morning, good to see you, all these things, people feel like you're being short with them. Like just saying what you mean isn't enough. So I've learned to essentially speak their language and, instead of just saying hi, say, hey, how are you? How's it going today? How was your weekend? Blah, blah, blah. So that's one of the different ways we use language is I think with a lot of autistic people, we tend to be more efficient with our language. We just get to the point. Like if I need to ask someone a question and I go up to them, I just walk up and I ask the question. Whereas I notice with typical people, if they have a question, they'll walk up and then they'll just make small talk that's got absolutely nothing to do with what they're going to ask. They'll just be talking for a while and, people come up to me and I'm just like, why are they coming up just asking me these random things? And then finally they get to the point, I'm like, oh, that's what you wanted. So we definitely use language in different ways. For them, language is, I don't know what the hell it is. It's just something to fill space, I guess. For us, it's functional. Like if I have something to talk to you about, I'll say it. If I don't, then I'll be quiet. I don't generally just sit and talk for no apparent reason. Like if I'm talking, it's because I have something to say. Usually. Sometimes I just kind of ramble a little bit, but that's, more for entertainment. That's one of the biggest changes, differences between us for languages. I've noticed, and there were some studies done on this. Somebody studied, I I think it was mostly children, and they studied the differences between autistic children and normal children. And they found that, or with normal people, I think it was mostly children though, they found that autistics overall tended to be a lot more honest and direct with their language as opposed to typical people who were very quick to tell a lie, even if it was just a white lie, even if the lie wasn't even needed, to get out of a difficult situation or whatever. They found that typical people are more likely to lie for no apparent reason. They just tend to lie. And as a general rule, autistic people tend not to lie. And sometimes you'll hear people say, "Oh, autistic people can't lie." It's not that we can't lie. It's just it's not. I would say it's not native to us, I guess. Like I've learned how to lie, or tell those little white lies, and those little social lies. Like it used to be, if someone said, "Oh, hey, do you want to go out tonight?" I would just say no, because that's the answer. Like I'm not in the mood, or I have plans, or whatever. Whatever what reason is, the answer is no. So I tend to be efficient with my words. So instead of going into this 10, 10 sentence explanation, I just say no. And then it's been explained over and over and over that that's rude, and what's wrong with you, and that sort of thing. So then I had to learn to like stretch it out and be like, "Oh man, I really wish I could, but I got this other thing planned," or something stupid like that. So it's not that we can't lie. I mean, like I've learned how to lie and do stuff like that just because it's considered socially acceptable. But when it comes to important things or something like that, I don't want to lie, even if it's a difficult thing to say. I feel that it's wrong to lie, because at the end of the day, all we really have is our word. Our word is our word is our integrity and our everything. And if your word is no good, then what do you have? You have nothing. You know, have you ever noticed that for a lot of people, they're so used to lying to each other, it's such a normal thing for them, that whoever their best friend is, they always describe their best friend as the one person I trust to always tell me the truth. Haven't you noticed that? Like, and think about that for a little bit. Is there shouldn't be just one person in your life who you trust to tell the truth. Create a society where telling the truth is normal and healthy and expected, instead of doing the opposite. And I don't know, for some reason that's just the way it is in typical society, and it tends not to be that way in with autistic people. Autistic people tend to prefer the truth, even if it's difficult. And it's difficult. I mean, it just because we prefer the truth doesn't mean that it makes it easier to say. Well, sometimes it's easy because I just say it and then I realize, oh yeah, that was one of those things you're supposed to lighten up a little, or soften a little before you say it. But still, if we have something difficult to tell someone, it's still difficult. It's still awkward or weird feeling. But I think it shows respect to me and my integrity, and it also shows respect to you if I'm going to tell you the truth instead of lie to your face, because if I lie to you, I assume that I'm lying. Just like usually when a lot of people, when they lie to me, I you can kind of tell. Usually when people are lying to you. And so I feel like if I lie to you, that's being disrespectful to you. And I don't want to do that to somebody. Because when someone's lying to me, I know that feeling when I'm looking at them and I'm thinking, "You son of a bitch, you're lying right to my face. Just go away." And I don't want somebody looking at me and thinking that about me. So that's something that we do different with language. One of those things that I hope our ways will kind of permeate the typical world, and hopefully people will, I would really like to see more people embrace more honesty and just being more, more careful with their words and meaning what they say instead of just saying anything because it's, they figure that's what you want to hear, you know. So that's something I wish more people would make an effort at, but maybe someday. So that was language. Tomorrow the 15th is LGBT plus Autistic Selfie Day. Okay. All right. So we'll get to that tomorrow, the next day, one of these days, someday. For now, thank you for watching.